before Yes We Can, there was Unbought and Unbossed. In the whirlwind of the 1960s, a voice rose that would shatter glass ceilings and carve a path where none had dared to tread. Shirley Chisholm, a woman of fierce intellect and unyielding courage, stepped into the halls of power, not as a token, but as a trailblazer. Her journey is not just the story of one woman. It is the story of a nation grappling with its own ideals of democracy, equality, and representation. As the civil rights movement raged outside, Shirley dared to challenge the political establishment from within, reminding America that true leadership demands both vision and tenacity. This is the story of how she opened the door to politics for generations who followed, transforming the very idea of who belongs in the corridors of power. Born in Brooklyn in 1924 to parents who had migrated from the Caribbean, Shirley Chisholm was shaped by the vibrant mosaic of New York's Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood. From an early age, she was immersed in a world where dreams often collided with harsh realities. Her mother, a teacher, instilled in her the belief that education was a sacred weapon against injustice. Yet it was the streets, the community meetings, and the struggles of ordinary people that taught her about resilience and hope. The crucible of her youth forged a fierce determination to refuse the limitations imposed by race, gender, or class. With a mind sharpened by scholarship and a heart anchored in the fight for justice, Shirley set her sights on a stage where she could give voice to the voiceless. The 1960s, a decade of upheaval and transformation, served as both backdrop and battleground for Shirley's political awakening. As America wrestled with the legacy of segregation and the rise of the civil rights movement, the halls of power remained stubbornly white and male. Yet Shirley saw through the barriers, recognizing that true change required not only protest but participation. In 1964, she launched her campaign for the New York State Assembly, determined to represent the people of her community with integrity and independence. Her campaign was a beacon of hope, a declaration that leadership could be grounded in authenticity rather than conformity. When she won, she became the first black woman elected to that body, setting the stage for a career defined by firsts and fearless advocacy. In the assembly, Shirley Chisholm quickly earned a reputation for her unwavering commitment to the poor, the marginalized, and the forgotten. She championed education reform, affordable housing, and employment opportunities, understanding that political representation must translate into tangible improvements in people's lives. Her speeches carried the weight of lived experience and a profound empathy that transcended party lines. Yet, her ascent was met with resistance from those who saw her as a threat to the status quo. Undeterred, she embraced the label Unbought and Unbossed, a mantra that encapsulated her refusal to be controlled by political machines or special interests. Shirley's leadership was a radical act, one that challenged not only racial and gender norms but the very nature of political power itself. The year 1968 marked a turning point for Shirley Chisholm and for the nation. Against a backdrop of social unrest and political upheaval, she set her sights on Congress. Running for the U.S. House of Representatives, she faced a campaign that tested every ounce of her resolve. The political establishment sought to sideline her, while the media often reduced her to stereotypes. But Shirley's message was clear: representation matters, and democracy demands inclusion. When she won, becoming the first black woman elected to Congress, she shattered a glass ceiling, not just for herself, but for countless others who had been denied a seat at the table. Her victory was a beacon of possibility, a testament to the power of perseverance and the enduring promise of America's democratic experiment. In Washington, Shirley Chisholm's presence was both an inspiration and a challenge to the entrenched order. She navigated the complex world of Capitol Hill with a blend of grace and grit, forging alliances across ideological divides while never compromising her principles. As a member of the House Education and Labor Committee, she fought tirelessly for policies that expanded access to education and economic opportunity. Her voice pierced the often impenetrable walls of bureaucracy, reminding her colleagues that legislation must serve the people, especially those who had long been ignored. Shirley's tenure in Congress was not merely symbolic. It was a relentless pursuit of justice, a relentless demand that government live up to its highest ideals. But Shirley Chisholm's impact transcended policy and legislation. She became a symbol of possibility during a time when the country was convulsed by questions of identity and equality. In 1972, she announced her candidacy for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States, the first black woman to do so. Her campaign was groundbreaking, not just for its historic nature, but for the boldness of its vision. Shirley challenged the nation to confront its biases and expand its imagination about leadership. Though she faced a torrent of obstacles, from limited funding to outright hostility, her candidacy galvanized marginalized communities and planted seeds for future generations of political leaders. Her slogan, "Unbought and Unbossed," echoed from campaign rallies to living rooms, a rallying cry for authenticity and self-determination. Shirley's presidential bid illuminated the deep fissures in American politics, the intersections of race, gender, and power that continue to shape the landscape today. Her campaign confronted the double bind of being both black and a woman, navigating a political arena that was often hostile to either identity alone, much less both combined. Yet, she refused to be sidelined or silenced. Instead, she used her platform to amplify voices that had been muted, demanding a politics that reflected the full diversity of the American people. Shirley Chisholm's courage in stepping onto that national stage challenged the country to reckon with its contradictions and to envision a more inclusive future. Though she did not win the nomination, Shirley Chisholm's campaign left an indelible mark on American democracy. Her defiance of convention and unrelenting advocacy paved the way for future leaders, women and people of color, who would follow in her footsteps with greater access and broader support. Her influence is visible in the rise of politicians who embody the spirit of representation she championed, leaders who refuse to be bought or bossed, and who demand a seat at the table, not as tokens, but as rightful participants in shaping the nation's destiny. Shirley's legacy is not confined to history books. It lives on in every voice lifted in pursuit of justice and equality. After her presidential campaign, Shirley Chisholm continued to serve her constituents and advocate for social justice. She remained a powerful voice for education, civil rights, and women's empowerment. Her unyielding commitment extended beyond politics into academia and activism, inspiring countless individuals to engage in public service and community leadership. Shirley's life was a testament to the belief that leadership is a responsibility, not a privilege, and that democracy thrives when it embraces all its citizens. As the years unfolded, her story became a touchstone for those who understood that the struggle for representation and equality is ongoing, a continuous journey toward a more perfect union. The resonance of Shirley Chisholm's life and career is felt acutely in today's political landscape. Her pioneering spirit echoes in the victories and challenges of contemporary leaders who continue the fight for inclusion and justice. The barriers she broke have not all fallen, but the doors she opened remain ajar, inviting new generations to enter and transform the halls of power. Her story reminds us that representation is not merely symbolic. It is foundational to a democracy that claims to serve all its people. Shirley Chisholm's legacy is a powerful call to action, to challenge injustice, to lead with integrity, and to never yield in the pursuit of equity. As we reflect on the journey of Shirley Chisholm, we are reminded that true leadership demands courage, the courage to be unbought and unbossed. In a world that often seeks to buy or boss those who dare to lead differently. Her life illuminates the intertwined struggles for racial and gender equality, revealing the profound impact one individual can have in reshaping a nation's political culture. Shirley Chisholm's story is a beacon for all who believe that democracy's promise is realized only when every voice is heard and every person is empowered. In honoring her legacy, we renew our commitment to the ongoing work of inclusion and justice. Before Yes We Can, there was Shirley Chisholm, unbought, unbossed, and unapologetically bold. Her footsteps echo through the decades, a constant reminder that the doors of power are not reserved for the few, but belong to the many. Her life challenges us to imagine a politics rooted in authenticity, courage, and unwavering dedication to the common good. As the nation continues its journey toward equity and representation, Shirley Chisholm's legacy stands as both a foundation and a beacon, inviting us all to step forward, claim our place, and lead with the fierce hope that she embodied. The door she opened remains wide, waiting for those who will follow. This has been Roots Renaissance. See you in the next chapter.